next is special allowable itemized deductions. So there's our allowable deduction from the gross income to arrive at the amount of taxable income in addition to regular allowable itemized deductions. You heard it right. If you are using or declaring itemized deductions, you can also be declaring special allowable itemized deduction. Unlike optional standard deduction, if you're going to use it, you can never use the other types of deductions. Okay, the following are the examples of special allowable itemized deductions. First is adopt a school program under RA 8525. Next, 15% additional deduction of salaries and wages for senior citizens. Another one is senior citizen discount under RA 9257. Next is ruling in breastfeeding practices under RA 7600. And we have also free legal assistance under RA 9999. Income currently distributed to beneficiaries under estates and trusts, but such amount shall be taxable to debtor. Another one is net operating loss carryover, which will be discussed in the next chapter. Another is special deduction allowed to insurance companies, such as net additions to reserve funds within a year, premium deposits returned to their policyholders, and actual deposit sums with the officers of the government of the Philippines. Tax incentives to adopting private entities, the amount for assistance, contribution, donation to public schools made by private entities that were actually directly and exclusively incurred for the program in team up with the following departments: Department of Education, Commission on Higher Education, or with TESDA, may be deducted from the gross income. The deductible amounts from gross income are as follows. We have two. First is the actual amount. This actual amount, mapupunta po siya sa regular itemized deductions. Another one, plus 50% from the actual donation. Okay? And this additional 50%, mapupunta po siya sa special allowable itemized deduction. Pero meron po tayong dapat bantayan dito. We have to identify if the project is a priority project or not. Kasi magkaiba po yung solution niya or way of solving. Kapag ang program is a priority project, actual donation lang plus 50% of the actual. Pero kapag ang project is not a priority project, so we have a limit. Okay, so we are going to find the gross sales minus cost of sales minus the operating expenses, and after that we are going to multiply it by 5% only, not 50%. That's the difference between solving if it is a priority or not a priority project. Consider this example. X domestic corporation entered into a memorandum of agreement with TESDA and Tacarong Technical School or TTS to provide services of X engineering staff to teach in TTS for 1 year free of charge as a form of assistance to the government school. Per MOA, the agreed value of the services of X engineering staff amounts to 300,000. However, the corporation's actual expenses incurred for 1 year term related to teaching services amounted to 250,000. The gross income of X corporation for the same taxable year amounted to 9 million before operating expenses of 5 million. The value of assistance to the technical school not yet included. So we have to answer it with both options. First, or assumption number 1 is program is a priority project. Assuming that the program is a priority project of the government, the amount of deductions that the corporation could claim against its gross income with respect to the assistance provided would be: we have actual donation of 250,000 plus a special deduction under RA 8525. So 250,000 times additional 50% of the 250,000, so that's 125,000. Therefore, the total amount of deduction with respect to assistance is 375,000. That is the answer if we assume that the program is a priority project. Next, if we will assume that the program is not a priority project, okay, the amount of deductions that can be deducted from the gross income would be, okay, so if it is not a priority project, then there's a limit. So deduction as a donation, 9 million minus the 5 million times 5%, it's equal to 200,000. Special deduction under Adopt a School program, 250,000 times 50%, that is 125,000. Therefore, the total amount of deduction with respect to assistance is equal to 325,000. So, if you are confused if bakit hindi parehas yung solution, it's because there is a limit. Why is there a limit? Because it is not a priority project. Therefore, the 9 million or the actual gross income minus the operating expenses, and by that we are going to multiply it by 5%. Okay, we are now on the rooming in and breastfeeding practices. So sa special deduction na to, the state adopts rooming in as a national policy to encourage, protect, and support the practice of breastfeeding. Okay, so the expenses incurred by a private health institution in complying with the provisions of this act shall be deductible expenses for income tax purposes up to twice, okay, of the actual incurred during the taxable period. Let's consider this as an example. Care Medical Center, a private hospital, conducted a free seminar and medical services regarding lactation management in every barangay in Baguio City. The hospital incurred the following expenses related to the seminar: advertising and transportation, 200,000; free medicines, 500,000; free materials, 300,000, a total of actual expenses, 1 million. So how can we account to this? The total itemized deduction allowed would be, first, the total actual expenses, which is 1 million. And because it is rooming in breastfeeding practices, we are allowed to deduct special itemized deduction, which is equivalent to 100% of the actual expenses. So therefore, the total itemized deduction allowed for this one is 2 million pesos.